dunk for your 5-man, here's a great action to run. The play's going to be initiated on this near side with a fake pin down that the guard is going to reject and then go off of what's referred to as a stagger screen. Him sprinting off of that stagger screen is a decoy. The ball is going to get thrown down to this near side, and the first screener, who should be a guard, is going to go and set a rip screen or a back screen for your 5-man, and if you can time up the play correctly, you should get a wide open look right there.
Tristan and Aruna, who just checked in for the first time.
I really like the way the Cleveland Cavaliers are passing the ball. A lot of these times in summer league, you see one pass shot, no pass shot.
Seeing points per possession, you've got Gonzaga and Baylor leading the country last season at 1 and 2. And here's a wide open look for Penn.
Our inbounder. So we got the 1 taking it out. For this, we're going to call him like best shooter, best playmaker. Got our 5 here, our 2 here, 3 here, and our 4 here. To get it open, to start the set, 3 setting a back screen for the 2, who's clearing out. It's coming into the 3. So now the 3 has the ball in this area. After that happens, the 1's coming down right here. Our 4 is setting a screen here. Our 5 is setting a screen here. The 1 can pick and choose whatever side they want to go off of for a shot.
Tonight we have Zipper Elevator. Comes from the X's and O's mastermind Greg McDermott. Play starts the stack formation. Let's have a guard pop and our shooter dive to the opposite block. Now on this catch, we're going to do some misdirection dribble to the top of the key, get the defense flowing that way, come off the zipper action. And that zipper leads our 2 screeners right into the elevator. Our shooter's going to shoot through and he's going to be wide open. Now I love the angle of this. The only way to really guard is if you switch it out. If you switch it out, that leaves a slip open or we'll just post a big on the block. Greg really is one of the best in the game. I mean, this is just beautiful.
Ren. This is the first time Darius Brown's been out of the game in these 2 days.
Gillis coming from the free throw line. 16 and 6 for him right now. 2 of those 6 rebounds offensive. Here's Booker. And he's got
Kentucky out. And we saw UCLA advance to the Sweet 16 a short time ago here in Portland. Duran feeds Dandridge. Dandridge, the
side of the field to give him first down. Davis bounce pass in wide open, catching a dunk off the.
Initiating the offense here. Number 1 in the white. And now you come in with Warwick, who's a big-time scorer. Great pass again.
I agree. Purifoy getting the start here. Is this the second game now without Chuma Okeke, who's back home after knee surgery. Clark on the feet again.
Murray's in there, Keegan and Chris. The lob to Keegan on the floor.
Involved too, which is norm for them. Not necessarily scoring, but touching the ball and going for both sides of the floor.
Kaluma back in. Shireman feeds it inside.
this crowd is hyped. Just 2.5 hours from West Lafayette, the home of the Boilermakers. Ryan Klein.
Northern's turning the corner. That is 51-48. Cougars lead the Gators. Oh, there's that little play they like to run. Clayton gets to the hoop.
Point attempts here so far.
For a team that averages almost 30 attempts a game and makes almost 11 of them. Wow.
Look out.
Here's a really nice action to get an open three. Now, most people are familiar with this concept referred to as elevator, where you're going to have a shooter who typically is underneath the rim, sprint to the top of the key, in between two bigs who are going to close as soon as he gets through, as if an elevator door was closing. But the thing that makes basketball so great is when you mix concepts together to get an even better play. So another very common action that's referred to as crackback, where a guard is going to act like he's coming off of a ball screen, but instead of using it, he rejects it and drives baseline, and then the screener is going to turn and set a crackback screen for a guard filling in behind to get an open shot. Both of these actions are used quite often when a team needs a three, but watch what happens when you combine them together. So the guard is going to start by dribble entering over to the wing, and this is the player that's going to be running through the elevator screen to the top of the key that's set by these two ladies right here. And you actually want the defense to blow this up and take away the elevator screen. After that happens, the guard is going to drive baseline, and then you're going to get an in screen right here from one of the elevator screeners for the other one to wrap around, just like our crackback action for a catch and shoot three right here.
For the Flyers, they average 4.
Split action. This is extremely simple to flow right into out of whatever offensive set that you run, and it can get you open catch and shoot shots like you see here, or potentially layups. To run this action, you just need 3 things. You need to start by getting a post touch, then the passer is going to turn into a screener, and you need your shooter to be the person coming off of the screen. Because the screen is being set at this angle, it requires a lot of communication by the defense to keep the shooter from getting an open look right here. But the most important part is, how do you flow into it out of your action? Well, after Steph chases his pass and then Jimmy rejects this ball screen, the ball gets thrown out to a non-shooter, but if you can see this triangle right here, they have all the pieces that they need to run split action. The ball gets thrown into Jimmy, and now the passer becomes a screener for Steph, who comes off of the split screen and gets a rhythm catch and shoot three. But the best part about split action is that you don't have to live and die by the three. Because of the placement of this screen and everybody's attention focused on the shooter, it opens up the paint for your split screener to slip out of his screen and get an open look.
It's the tip of our Sonic blockbuster matchup. The Blue Devils with the first possession of the night. Seth Trimble guarding Cooper Flagg. He's given up a lot of size.
One of the hottest new actions that coaches are incorporating into their offense is this thing referred to as Peja action. So what is it, and why do they call it that? It starts with your shooter setting a back screen, and the purpose of that back screen is to get the shooter's defender to feel like he has to help, even if it's for a second, because as he's helping, that gives the shooter time to sprint uphill into a handoff from your big, and now he has space to shoot the three. Now, the reason for calling it Peja action is because Sacramento Kings legend Peja Stojakovic used to be one of the best in the world at coming uphill off of handoffs from the big and knocking down catch and shoot shots. And because he was so elite at sprinting away from the basket and knocking down these shots, they decided to coin this shot after him. So if you've been watching March Madness, teams like BYU have been running this exact same action, and teams are starting to chase that shooter off of the dribble handoff, which is allowing these guards to probe or put their defender in jail where they get stuck behind them, and now they can get downhill to the rim.
It's always nice to script the first few possessions of a big conference game, so here's the first 4 possessions of one of our conference games. We ran horn circle the first possession that just showed. I think I have a video of it in the second video on this account. It's a pass to right elbow, best shooter in the corner, back cuts. Your point guard runs through the lane, sets a screen on the left elbow. He turns and curls and scores. Second possession, we just ran our 21. I've never really ran any Iverson stuff as a coach, but man, the more I look into it, the better it gets. Here's 3 awesome Iverson sets that I've seen. This first one just starts an obvious Iverson. The 2 guards interchange to both sides. This time the right elbow pops, touches screen, the left elbow goes to the top of the key. Then the right elbow just goes screens to the basket. Sweet. I mean, this last one, obviously Purdue has ED, but you could probably use it with any big man to pass over the top to the big man. Starting the Iverson set, and a pass to the left side. And we have a stagger screen, but the first guy's going to go between them. The second guy pops, and the first guy set a screen on the big man for the easy pass over the top. Nice, tricky.
Now, anytime you see Steve Kerr on the sideline rub his chest like this, then you know the Warriors are about to run this action. What happens is you have your best shooter, in this case Steph, setting up under the basket, and after the Warriors throw it to the outlet man, then Steph sets a screen for the inbounder, and hopefully tracks both defenders and routes to an open layup, if Wiggins doesn't blow it. But if that's not there, then the Warriors can also flow into option 2 of this play, which is if the defense has the back screen covered, then after Curry screens the inbounder, he's going to flow into a screen for himself, and this constant movement usually gets him a decent shot. Sometimes the Warriors will throw even more counters with the rub, as on this possession, the defense stops the inbounder and the corner flare screen, so Golden State punishes the overplay by slipping, and there's just a lot you have to defend.
Good morning everyone, day 171 of Coffee and Sets. Today we have Baylor, a quick 1-3-1 hitter against either an extended 2-3 zone or a 3-2 zone. Comes from TCU, just kidding, comes from Baylor. Play starts at the top of the key, we're going to swing to the right wing. Our big at the free throw line is going to dive to that block. That first pass is just to get the defense shifted and get our big in the place we want them, and we're going to have 2 quick reversals back to the opposite side. Because the defense is trying to rotate back after 2 quick reversals, this bottom defender is going to have to close out, which means this cross screen on the bottom is going to be wide open. Here's Baylor running it, the 1-3-1, the big dives, the misdirection cross screen. Beautiful. Game 1, we got gut Bilbo on the clipboard. Life is good. Play starts with a cross screen, then we're going to enter it into the big man who set the cross screen, and then immediately our inbounder is going to come up this gut screen and Bilbo it or twirl right away, and then our shooter who set the gut screen is going to turn around, come off the second screen, he's going to be wide open, he's going to knock it down. Here we see it, the cross screen, enter it into the big, immediately into a gut Bilbo. Here comes the second screen for our shooter, he's wide open, he's going to knock it down. Good morning everyone, day 170 of Coffee and Sets. Today we have a zone set that I'm just going to call yellow. It's going to start in a box formation, but really just make sure you have your point guard at the top of the key, a player in the left slot, a shooter in the opposite corner, and then 2 bigs kind of in the horns alignment area. First thing that's going to happen in yellow is we're going to enter the ball to the left slot, and then right as that's happening, we're going to get a middle ball screen here, and we're going to tack downhill, and we're going to draw this other guard defender, who's then going to get flared off. Now the first couple times we run this flare should be wide open. And then after a while, it's likely that this bottom defender is going to try to cheat, take this away. So you make 1 extra pass at the corner, they'll be wide open. Or the big who's setting the flare screen can roll the basket, he'll likely be wide open. And now you're seeing why I call it yellow. Here's the ball screen, the flare, wide open, beautiful.
Spirit with this Spartan squad, and we've seen it on display at the end of the first half. Nice into the second half, and there is
now Dickerson will get the ball. It's another great pass to Seifert. Seifert will have to bounce it back to Dickerson, who scores 2.